Our third speaker for the day is a man who has had to learn the art of discipline the hard way. After successful but tough stints in the Navy, insurance and real estate, Scott Brennan founded his business, the National Lending Group, in 1999. Through disciplined, focused methods, he quickly became one of Australia's top loan writers. He writes more money in a month than most brokers do in a year. Scott is a self-made man. His secrets to success are simple. Put yourself in the shoes of the customer and you won't go far wrong. Scott is here today to talk to you about how to cut to the chase and stick to dollar productive activities. Activities that have made him one of Australia's top mortgage brokers. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Brennan.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Wow, I watched the session just beforehand. It's a hard act to follow, but I'll do my best. Thanks, Tom. Yes, my name is Scott Brennan, and I am a finance broker. Put your hand up if you're a finance broker here in the crowd. It's good to see. What about a lender? Work for a lender. Well, it's good to see. Okay. Now, basically where I'm going to come from is this. I'm just going to find that. My history is this. It's not working for me. Only happens to me. Okay, well, forget about that. My history is I've done $600 million worth of settlements since 1999 with an average settlement of 75 to 80 million per annum. I've won Plan Australia Broker of the Year, so that's the way it works. Okay, I won Plan Australia Broker of the Year in 2003, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And I've also won Business of the Year in 2005 and 2007. Okay, so basically today I wanted to be honest with you. Even though I said I would speak at this conference, I wasn't 100% committed. Why? Because I wasn't sure whether my journey would be interesting to anyone else. There are other successful brokers in Australia who have done the hard yards as well as I have. And I can see quite a few of you, and I saw quite a few of you outside. So why did I turn up? I turned up because in thinking about what I had to say, I convinced myself that by sharing with you how I built my business, it might in some way help you to build yours. Let's face it, the road to the top of the mountain is rocky. Yes, I know that does sound cheesy, but let's face it, even though it's not rocket science, it does get tough. In this industry, we interact with a lot of people, solicitors, lenders, accountants, real estate agents, etc. And at times, I have to confess, you feel like going through the phone and strangling them. But fortunately, we realise we need them all to reach our targets. My session is about sharing my tips from a smooth journey up the mountain. I hope that by sharing my experiences, I might save you a few grey hairs and shave a few years from your journey. From those that know me, you'll know that I'm fiercely competitive. And from those that don't know me, you soon recognise this too. So as you can see, doing $600 million worth of loans, okay, divide that by 2 with trail and you'll see how much money I'm making per month, so it's not too bad. The organisers asked me to speak to you about identifying 4 simple rules for success. Okay, the importance of a database and how my customers and referrers are my major lead sources. First of all, I thought, how can I put everything into 4 simple rules? Okay, and this is what I came up with. The first one, focus, tunnel vision. Okay, distractions cost money. We're finance brokers, we sell money. People get confused and they start doing other things like selling real estate, selling insurance, selling cars. At the end of the day, okay, your job as a finance broker is to go out there to the client and sell them some money. Okay, and sell them what they need. Do it properly from the start. Like building a house, your foundations are critical. A little bit later, I'm going to talk about a database and how important a database is to a business. Stay disciplined. Develop the even keel between family, health, work and play. Now, I'm still working on that, okay, because my problem is I'm always working. My wife doesn't like that. She's here today. But she's always getting me to work on the family, also health and playing as well. Okay, so what I decided to do was to go through the systems we use at National Lending Group and the importance of our database. It was developed with the help of my aggregator Plan Australia, and what I can say that is gold in our business. But last and not least, I will share with you some insights into how I look after my referrers and why they've stuck by me. Actually, they've had no choice, but we'll get to that later. So let's get to a bit of history. I started NLG in 1999. I was a licensed real estate agent, and a couple of years before that, I'd been looking around at some business opportunities. Excuse me. Some business opportunities. I was looking at stuff in the States, all over the world, and one thing that really stood out to me was how well the mortgage industry was doing. Plus, I had a couple of very good friends and mentors, Alex Maleros and Darryl Weeks, who will be speaking tomorrow. Now, basically what they did was I think they were at that time flogging Aussie home loans. So basically what I did was we had a good chat and I dived in head first. The mortgage broking industry was growing very fast. So again, yeah, I dived in. So I floated between aggregators before settling with Plan Australia in 2001. I became one of his early members. At that time, I worked 7 days a week. I remember writing loans at midnight, 2 a.m. I used to write deals up to 11 p.m. before going back and processing them till 4. So it was pretty full on. And it got to a stage, and plus I was networking very hard, out drinking with the guys, but trying to get those referrals coming in. By myself running the whole show, I eventually wrote 4 to 5 million of business per month. And I had a very simple formula. 10 appointments per week, 7 interviews equals 5 loans, which equals 20 loans per month. Very simple, isn't it? But that's what it did for me. That's what I worked on. I never deviated. I networked very hard, okay, to get these 20 plus loans per month. But in 2001, I said to myself, you cannot do these ridiculous hours anymore, Scott, okay? I remember going out to interviews, coming back, not being able to get back to the loans quick enough. So in the early days, that was me. A little bit less hair now, but same person. So I bit the bullet and employed a part-time admin assistant. My first office was in Cogra. It was pretty small, so normally we used to have to go outside to change our mind, but it was, I was paying the rent. But at least it got me out of the home and working on the business. I sometimes think about that first admin girl. It was very hard, but she was trained very quickly. So for those who know me, you know I'm a very hard taskmaster, and I share my passion and enthusiasm. But unfortunately, okay, just one sec. But unfortunately, things didn't go that well. But I'm just going to get to the next bit. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit nervous today. This is where I met another mentor of mine, Terry Dunn from Homeside. Now, when I was at Cogra, one of the things was I'm a good salesman, so I could close a deal. But the problem I had was that I didn't have a very good understanding of credit, financials, etc. So when I met Terry, Terry came from a business banking background, and he was with Homeside Lending. One of his first jobs was with, as a BDM, was with Homeside. So what ended up happening was Terry took me under his wing and showed me how to read financials, showed me all that type of stuff, which is very important when it comes to getting things through credit. Then the next light bulb came on. It was time to continue. So I needed the support of a team. How many did I need? It was then that I worked on a business plan. Okay, so after a lot of calculations, I finally realised it was time to put on more people. So I moved the office to Carlton, employed a few people, but that didn't really work. Then ended up hiring a girl called Helen Powell. Now, Helen was fantastic. She worked with me for many years, and I ended up then putting on Helen's goddaughter, Marnie. I kept it in the family. These two girls were my top producers. They worked very hard for me. They also had to put up with me because it's not easy. I was flying in and out of appointments, probably not being in the best of moods when I was suffering from lack of sleep or networking too hard. It was fortunate these girls shared my enthusiasm, as they always have, and the best foundations for our team was this: together, everybody achieves more. Anyone can get a loan approved, but the real challenge is processing it successfully through to settlement. And that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail. At this time, I also decided to bring in another loan writer, Greg Collins. Greg came on board, he had a sales background, and he picked up the slack from me, and then what ended up happening was he ended up building his own referral base and moving forward. Then the team was complete. Okay, I'll get them all out. So administration staff are vital when it comes to being a mortgage broker. And I've found this because when you get to a certain amount of loans, you can only do so much. You can only do so many appointments, so many calls to the lenders. You can only do so many follow-ups with referrers. You're only one person. So what I found was administration staff were vital. I made sure they were well trained. I made sure that they were professional, 100% service focused. I made sure that their achievements were settling loans. And this is what helped me to settle, personally, 20 to 25 million per month. Okay, and it also allows your other loan writers, okay, to concentrate on increasing sales. Okay. So, if you're in a position in your business where it's getting too hard and you're making too much money and you're getting too many deals, if you keep going and you don't put people on, if you don't put someone on, you've got to get into a stage where you're going to lose everybody. So one of the options I came up with was operating on your own. Tips. Okay, be yourself, do the best you can, but set your goals. So what I thought here was 8 deals per month. Average deal of 350, total settlements of 2.8. That's how much you can do on your own. Any more than that, you really need to look at hiring a part-time processor. The cost of that. So if you've got a part-time processor, okay, your total investment's going to be $30,000 per annum. The wages will be about $2,933. Okay, so your investment into putting someone on and helping you to build your business is going to be 2 loans a month. But that'll take you from 8 loans to 14 loans. Okay, and that'll help you to get your business up to 4.9 million, which you really couldn't do without the help of an administration staff or a processing staff. Option 3 is putting on a full-time processor. Okay, this investment's going to be around $50,000 per annum. Monthly wages of $4,889, okay, which is going to cost you around about 3.5 loans per month, but a great investment which allows you to take it up to 23 deals per month, settling anywhere up to $8 million. And again, if you're starting to write more than 8 million, it's time to put someone else on, which is not a bad problem to have. Okay, option 4 is one that I haven't been a huge fan of, but that's outsourcing. There are people that do that. Okay, there are groups that do outsourcing. I've spoken to a few of them, but it's not a big fan. But look, this allows you to still process loans, and it still gives you the opportunity of going out there and doing your appointments and working your referrers. Okay, so there's some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so as you can see, I'm a big fan of having someone in-house. So in-house processing gives you a prompt follow-up with your client and your lenders and time to visit your clients. Okay, look, a disadvantage, I had to find one, which was an additional fixed cost, but it's an investment. Like this person's helping you to make money. Option 4, as I said, look, I'm not a big fan, but look, there's a lot of people out there that do it. You can be a one-man, one-woman show. It allows you to spend more time with your clients, of course. The economic cost is down because you're only paying on a per deal, but you've got no real control over your database. Okay. Just one sec, sorry. Okay, so paper everywhere. Sorry about that. Okay, so our aim at NLG is we give every customer's application the best chance to be approved and settled. This is achieved through exceptional customer service, ethical lending practices, and our clean skin approach to every transaction. Now, there we go. Plan has always had good software. When I joined them, okay, they did load it onto my computer, but I did very little with it. Looking back, this caused me a lot of pain in lost productivity. I could have been much more productive if I'd taken the time right from the start to set up my systems. In the initial stages of growing my business, my systems were very manual. While we always had exceptional verbal communication with our clients, nothing was recorded electronically. This was one of my biggest regrets as we moved forward. Greater success, we wasted a lot of it. It actually did waste a lot of my time. However, when I recognised what was missing, we moved back a gear and we spent 1 year getting the systems right. We had to re-enter all the data back into the software. We had to add the additional fields that we needed. We inserted our standard documents into the mail merge and we set up our activities. It was a huge task, but with the help of Plan Australia, we finally got there. And one of the things that allowed us to do was to set up our newsletters, our birthday cards, our anniversary letters, and keep in touch with everyone in our via our database, which is critical. Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way, but if you don't increase your productivity, you get overtaken by your competitors. This won't happen to NLG. So, what we've really worked on at NLG is the prospect. I'm not going to tell everyone how to get those, but you know, if you certainly would be getting them. Into your new customer. All our referrers, okay, are our customers, okay? Customers are your best referrers, and we have what we call our Customer for Life program. And this forms part of our database. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk a little bit about the systems that we have at NLG from the time that we get the client until the time that the deal settles. So this is the pre-qualification stage. Now the requirements for loan processing documents are given to all customers. They outline all the personal documentation that the customer is obliged to provide. Every customer is advised that the application cannot proceed until all necessary documentation is provided. Okay, this is one of the sheets that we give to the client. Okay, and you can do this either at the telephone stage or in the interview. And there's a packaging checklist. So the submission summary document explains and encompasses all facets of the transaction. This is a vital document for the loan writer, loan processor and credit manager. What we used to find with the lenders is, and they don't do this to us anymore, is they used to ring up and go, so what is this application about? And we go, have you read the loan submission sheet? They go, no. Okay. So what we find with this document, okay, is because the application just has the bare essentials and you have the other information that follows, okay, all the documentation, this is what they read. Okay, it tells them, yeah, the lender is you, that's right, the client's name, security value, the loan